Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Viewers, now we are getting into a conversation about what's going to happen in Crown Point Juve. I know we've had so much speculation in the air about, whether or not we're having a carnival in Tobago, but yes, there's a carnival in Tobago. And there is Juve happening in Crown Point. And to tell us a bit about the plans for Juve in Crown Point, we are being joined by Miss Abby Taylor, who is our presiding officer, but she's not here in that capacity as presiding officer. She's here in the capacity as the secretary and the interim PRO of the Crown Point Carnival Committee. So good morning and welcome to you, Miss Taylor. How are you doing?
Good morning, Candice. I'm good. How are you?
I am great this morning.
You have been busy.
Yes, and we're about to be more busy today, but we'll get into that later. So, Crown Point Juve, it's on.
Yes, it's on. It takes place Monday at 4 a.m. and we end at 10. All music trucks shut off music at 9:45 promptly. So if you have not registered as yet, there is still time. Find a band to do so, and we are moving swiftly ahead to ensure that we have a really good, safe carnival.
Mm-hmm. How many bands are registered to take part?
So far, 6. We have 6 registered bands. Moon Over Water, Bago Limers, Sugar Lips and Friends, Chocolate City, just to name a few. We know that our vice chair, who is also a band leader as well for Fog Angels, Mr. Telly Cruz, he normally has one of the biggest bands for Juve. He won't be taking part in this national carnival. He would be focusing all his efforts on the October Carnival.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, there are 6 registered bands.
So is there anything special being planned for this year's edition of Crown Point Juve?
Nothing really special. We have scaled back a little bit on the amount because I guess I want to believe that a lot of our band members and our band leaders are focusing on October Carnival and preparing for that. So we're just going to have this smaller version of the Crown Point Juve. It's still going to be exciting. It's still going to be one of the most epic experiences members would have on the island for this period. And we're really encouraging persons to come out to have a safe Juve in Crown Point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And, over the years, Crown Point Juve actually has grown quite a bit.
We are the biggest. We are the biggest. We are the biggest and safest area for Juve on the island. And we would continue in that vein as things go along. I think next year we would have a better time to plan because this season was quite short. And then there was the back and forth between whether a carnival is taking place on the island or if it's not. So it's not a last minute effort. However, next year we would be properly planned because we would start having our conversations pretty early. As a matter of fact, right after this year's hosting.
All right. And, what do you think has led to Crown Point Juve being as popular and as safe and as big as it has been?
I think, and this is a conversation that the chairman and I often have, is the fact that the model that Crown Point presents is a model that works, one, and it's the best model of PPP arrangement for festivals on the island, where a committee was formed to execute this event, this festival. However, it's not 100% dependent on public funding. Persons within the area would have come together, the business persons within the area would have come together to either lend their financial support or any other resources that they may have had to ensure that this Juve happens. And this has been happening. This is the 14th year. So we could say that it's tried, tested, and true that whatever we are presenting, the Crown Point Carnival model actually works. And it owes to the fact that, we tend to engage the private sector a lot to ensure that this Juve happens.
And what goes into some of the planning? What challenges do you encounter in terms of putting on something like this?
Okay, so this year was the first year that I personally would have had so much hands-on involvement since the passing of our chairman, Miss Martha Asher. We met with all stakeholders, all pertinent stakeholders that are critical to the execution of this event. That would be TTPS and TEMA. And we would have also spoken to the businessmen. The public, the private sector is, of course, a major stakeholder in this event. After meeting with ACP Hazel and Mr. Alan Stewart, they gave us a little bit of homework. We went back to the drawing board. We had to revise some stuff. One of the major things that came out of our preliminary meetings with TTPS and TEMA is the fact that we have to ensure that the notion of a safe carnival is had throughout Tobago, whether it is in Crown Point, Scarborough, or Roxborough, because we have Juvies in all three areas. He also indicated that the resources of the police would be a little stretched, so we have to do our part in ensuring that safety is priority. We also submitted in our proposal a traffic management plan that would show how traffic would flow along that road heading to the airport. We would have identified emergency access route for persons who are working within the area so that they could get easily to work and out of the area as quickly as possible. Most important, airport workers, because we can't distract the operations of the airport. We would have also identified within that traffic management plan a parking plan. Patrons are advised that you are to park, well, once it's after 4 a.m., you are to park in Cove, that Cano Bay area. Once you get in before 4 a.m., there are different areas that you can park. Penny Savers car park. You can also park in Shade car park. There is also an empty lot opposite Viewport car park, Viewport supermarket in Canaan. There's an empty lot on the other side. We got approval for there. We are waiting approval for the use of the Storbay Heritage Park, but we also got approval for the use of the Storbay car park.
Okay, great.
Beach facility car park.
All right. So it seems as though all the plans are coming together for a wonderful Juve.
Everything is coming together. We are just encouraging persons. I just want to make mention that there is a new legislation governing the use of glass bottles within Carnival. Mm-hmm. Persons are advised that this is a legislation passed, so that there are consequences involved if you break the law. You cannot come into the area with glass bottles. As much as you may feel tempted, please don't walk with glass bottles in the area, so that there is a prohibition of glass bottles. That's a new law implemented, and it has a fine and it has some jail time attached to it as well.
All right, so viewers, beware. So those of you who want to go to be a part of the Juve, do not take a glass bottles. And this does not just apply to Crown Point Juve. No. It applies actually to all events throughout the carnival season. Please do not have your glass bottles with you. If you want, you could pour your drinks into a plastic bottle or a reusable bottle. Mm-hmm. Any one of those things, but no glass bottles, because of course we don't want any incidents.
I mean, ACP Hazel made it explicitly clear that he is going to maintain a very safe carnival. He had a very safe October carnival, and he's going to continue in that vein. And of course, being a major stakeholder in this event, we want to work as symbiotically as possible with all stakeholders to ensure that persons come to the event, they have a good time, but they are also safe while enjoying themselves.
All right, I want to thank you so much, Ms. Taylor, for being on with us and for just giving us a perspective and letting us know that Crown Point Juve is on. So viewers,
it's definitely happening. Again, I would just want to reiterate that the Juve starts at 4 a.m. The roads would be blocked off by by Stumpy's bypass. That route would be used as an emergency exit route. You would actually bands would actually leave from the Green Shop Bar that is opposite Milford Court, and they would proceed down to the Coliseum, where they would have the nice little jump up and then they will turn and come back up the road. And we will do this as safely as possible while cooperating with the police.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Ms. Taylor. And so there you have it, viewers. So all the details you need to know about Crown Point Juve. So if you are into Juve and just something that you participate in, be sure and be there and have a good time. But remember, no glass bottles.
No glass
so thank
bottles.
you again for being with us. And of course, Ms. Taylor, thank you for being on set with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And viewers, stay tuned for Tobago updates because we will be continuing to follow what's happening with this vessel that's stuck outside of Cove and the oil that's continuing to leak out of it. So be sure to tune in to the newscast at 6:30 where we will be bringing you to you more details as things unfold. So have a safe and wonderful day and we'll see you again later.